Jero is just a professional poisoner of a family of assassins. But he has to arrange a bride to give a successor to the grandma, and for that, Jero has to ally himself with a marriage swindler? If you got curious, stay with me until the end, and let's go to the video. In a luxurious place of mobsters, a big bald guy is smoking about 9 cigarettes at the same time and passes the cigarette but on his human chair, a cruelty without size. It has already been 15 years since his business invented human furniture. They always faced bankruptcy, but turned things around by any means necessary, like this filth there. All present are happy and enjoying their banquet at night. The bald president congratulates Tomatsu and Natsumi for the marriage and expects several healthy grandchildren as successors. After drinking a poison wine, the old man starts to bleed through every hole of the body. He blames a guest who is at the table, but the real one already slipped away quietly. His name is Jero, and he is going home calmly at night. When he sees a couple saying goodbye with a kiss, he gets distracted and hits his face on a vending machine. He at home, and his sister asks how it was to poison the target without alarming the poison taster. Jero says that the taster developed resistance to poison. That's how it worked. Because over 3 months, Jero mixed small amounts of poison in the meals of the taster. He became resistant even to lethal doses. His sister says that there is a nuisance. Jero thinks so, but no one would suspect that, and because of that, he managed to finish the job. While eating his child yogurt, his sister asks if he thought about marriage. Jero has no chances of that being in the assassination line. Akari insists, but Jero says that the grandma wants one of them to assume the leadership of the poisoner family. He had already refused for being single, and because of that, they paired him with a woman from the auxiliary family that he had never seen before. And they tried to force something, but it will not happen. So the poisoners end with Jero's generation. He decided to spend the whole life alone, and Akari should live with her girlfriend. Akari is a very good brother for her. Then Jero receives a message from his friend Entimat. The guy is weird, has a tarantula on the mask, and his tongue looks like a snake, besides having a centipede tattoo on the face. This one is eccentric. The two relax and talk about the future and having children, and how Jero will stay alone. His friend has been thinking about getting married. He has a nice girl with him who accepts him the way he is, with the venomous animals and everything else. Jero was surprised that someone likes and wants Entimat at this level. He says that he worked very hard for that. He says that even married, the two will still be best friends, said that Jero congratulates him. And Entimat leaves being carried by his centipedes. Jero says that he is too much to find someone precious for oneself. He would never manage that. Jero never had a good image of marriages, but after this conversation with a friend, he thinks that it may not be so bad. But for him, it does not work. Another day, Jero is hired for a job, and the guy says that thanks to him, anyone can make use of their cleaning service since they have an affordable price. Some women come offering themselves to Jero. They are the secretaries and hired assassins of the one in the yellow suit. Jero can do whatever he wants with them, be it for work or relaxation. Jero is not in the mood and goes to do his job, but bumps into a bulletproof glass. Jero has to take care of the little blonde that the man in the suit says to be a scum of humanity. Mei Kinesaki is a marriage swindler without a drop of shame. She has been causing trouble in the territory of these bandits and now will be punished. Jero applies an injection in her, which affects her nervous connections, paralyzing them from end to end, and Mei will feel an unbearable pain, as if she were being stabbed through the whole body, besides continuing conscious during all the time. And to finish, Jero will apply a deadly poison. She will wish to have never been born. Mei introduces herself, but small talk will not work with Jero. She says he looks like her first love, but the protagonist does not fall into that talk to make cattle sleep. She says she needed a lot of money to save her younger brother who is sick. Because of that, she did shameful jobs and borrowed money in all places that she could. And even so it was not enough, then the paralyzing poison starts to take effect. She says that at least she will go F beside someone identical to her first love. Maybe her life has not been a mistake, and asks the name of the guy. Jero gets nervous and speaks. The people watching through the cameras do not understand this little talk of them, and Jero even said his name to the target. The one in the suit says that Jero's family is one of the oldest and most successful families in the underworld. As much as they use these little silly tricks, people line up to hire their services. Mei apologizes and Jero thinks that she might be in love with him. Akari calls his emergency number and says that she will return home and thought it better to warn. She will give an heir to the family and is already looking for a partner from the auxiliary family right now. Jero says to not do that. However, Akari does not see much choice because of the grandmother they have. She said directly to Akari that if she refused to assume the family, she would take her freedom and force her to have a child. If it is like that, Akari prefers to go on her own. Jero feels for the sister and for her girlfriend. Akari says that she will have to break up with her love for that. But Jero does not accept. She says that the brother is the one who will assume the responsibility then. There is no way for Akari. Jero asks to wait a bit. Then he asks May to marry him. If she wants to live, he says that he has to marry to conceive a successor to the Poisoner family. If it is to marry, he prefers that it be someone who likes him, and Jero can help with the illness of May's brother. She becomes all happy, but then comes a trick. Of course, she does not want. She only wanted to see his face being rejected by someone who is about to kick the boots. It is an incredible feeling the couples of this world, be it appearance, finances, personality, or whatever, people date because they are compatible in some of these things. As for Jero, she says that he is a maniac who asks in marriage someone that he is going to kill, and that he does not match with anyone. He agrees. May says that if he wants to find someone, first thing is to be sincere. It is in this way that couples understand each other, fight, and through the stumbles on the path, find their ideal partner. And Jero really wants to marry for the good of the family? The contractor asks if the talk is at the end, that he is stalling too much and can put an end to the misery of the other, because his fee was not cheap. Jero passes to the other side, who is the scum of humanity. It is not a matter of justice that IT is just because he would not be able to sleep at night, but sometimes he also thinks about having a calm life with someone special. He despises this side of him. Jero shouts that he wants a love in his life to be able to have a normal and happy day to day. He wants all the simple things like, how was it at work? Did you sleep well? How was the day today? And everything else. But as it is, he will never find someone. Jero never went to school, nor to kindergarten. He lived his whole life as a poisoner. Showing the weak side would be a death sentence. To vent his heart to a stranger, for him it is impossible. But well, he is doing it now, right? May says that going around killing is really an obstacle, but Jero should meet as many people as possible. If it is really worth stumbling on the way, and for sure he will find someone who likes him as he is, May asks to go F already, since everything was her fault and she will not be able to pay for the treatment of her little brother. She was selfish and ended the future of him. She cries for considering herself a terrible human being. The weirdo arrives and tells Jero to finish the job already and stop venting with the swindler. Jero refuses and says that he needs her as she is very popular for guys to ask her in marriage. She can help Jero to find someone. She is a professional of marriages. He promises to help her brother. May says that it is the first time that someone makes a proposal like this. The random is not happy with this, and everyone in the room takes their pistol because they cannot let the two leave there alive now. He is sad for Jero, disappointed actually, but finally he will be able to rise in life, sending to F someone from the Poisoner family. Jero says that they do jobs for normal people, charging very little, to later blackmail them for the rest of life. The one in the little suit does not care how many lives he ruined. There is no reason to keep acting like a vigilante. Said that Jero applies a super chemical in him and will eliminate the scum of humanity. The guy puts his gas mask and everyone shoots in his direction. But Jero disappears like smoke with May and suddenly appears on the roof and throws his poison on everyone. Then injects an antidote in May. Everyone is agonizing on the floor and the guys are traumatized now to do anything after. Akari calls Jero and says that she is already going home. But Jero says that she does not have to be the successor and silences the random to give some peace. He says that she has to stay with her girlfriend and live a good life by her side because she is special. Jero will marry and be the successor of the Poisoners, but he himself will find his partner. Akari cries and is relieved that she will not need to abandon her life and will say this to the grandmother. Jero does not know how to touch a woman without being a weirdo. Does he have permission for that? Because May still cannot move. Then she says that actually she is a man, so it is fine. Then it fried Jero's brain and mind. The two go to a hotel and May takes a good bath. Now he will help Jero to find the perfect match using all his techniques of love. He even made a profile on Tinder and put him to go to a party. May will attract all the men who want him, for Jero to have no competition at all. But Jero is not exactly the most socially skilled guy. He never went to school, so it is understandable. The guy started talking about his annual salary, then the women will think that he is a guy who only thinks about conquering with money. May give him a lecture and says that first it is better to smile and talk normally, but not even that the man manages he is a poor guy. He tried another meeting in a restaurant later, but it did not work. The girl left. There were several attempts and nothing worked. TOD stress. Jero went to clean a public bathroom with a formula that he himself created. He found 30 women in the day, and it did not help at all. May thought that at least there would be some progress in some of these meetings. It will be harder than he thought. He says that Jero's differential is hidden. They just need to try a bit more, and someone will appear who enchants him and is enchanted by him. Although May knows that Jero is difficult to develop for romance, he talks about his homemade mixture, the sacred purifier, and says that he can even create a chemical that evaporates metal. May says that it is better not to talk about these things on a date. Then the two go away, but a crazy guy kidnaps May and puts him in the car. Jero cannot keep up and picks up the cell phone that fell on the ground. The crazy bandit is brother of the one in the yellow suit and came to avenge his brother. He even spits a lead bullet into May that hurts a lot. But May does not back down and will not do anything that he does not want. He prefers to die than to get involved with these scoundrels. Then, at the right moment, Jero appears in the middle of the street and jumps into the car to use the metal melting acid. The metal splits in half and Jero runs out and follows the wrecked car. They crash into the bridge and will fall into the water. But Jero saves May, and the other two sink. Jero returns May's cell phone and thanks him for having helped him to meet so many people in a single day. If even one person had rejected him before, he would regret it for the rest of life. He counts on May to help with his inexperience with women. May says that since he did not get anyone's number today, he will give him his contact. May then identifies Jero's differential. This is the beginning of the story of Hikaru Jero, the assassin and poisoner in search of his other half. My good, what a crazy beginning, huh? But very interesting. Do you think there will be a YOI romance with May, or will he be a bro who will help to find a girl for Jero? Comment there and leave the like and share to help the channel. Activate the little bell to not miss anything and hype the video if you are on the cell phone. See the description for more recaps, and thanks for the support as always, and that's it. Professionals are masters of the art of killing, constantly perfecting their techniques. Through many generations, these professionals developed lethal techniques of certain death. This is the love story of one of these professionals, the master poisoner Hikaru Jero. Jero goes to a meeting point that May said, which is the Avogado Naval Museum, and she insisted for him to go. Jero is waiting for May, and there he comes all handsome, and Jero gets impressed with his beauty. I think it would be cool if at the end of everything unfolds a yaoi romance between them. It would be something different in a shonen right. May says that lost the notion of time choosing her clothes. She grabs Jero's hand for them to go together practice a date, but the guy goes crazy and lets go of the hand. He is not used with this type of relationship. May complains that many guys would pay millions just to hold his hand. Said that the two go to the Naval Museum and it is quite beautiful and real, but Jero does not understand why people would make dates there. May says that today will be a practical lesson. Even if he manages the number of someone and goes to a date, that way will not give him nothing. Jero has to be prepared. The two see some paintings of art, but Jero does not know how to react and what to say in these hours. Give a discount to the boy, because he never went to school and does not have any social skill that does not involve his work. He says nothing with nothing and gets nervous, so it is minus 10 points for him. They look a painting of a beautiful woman, and Jero tries to impress in the lesson saying that May is more beautiful. As he spoke without confidence and lying, it is minus 100 points for Jero. He does not know what to do and has to look a tutorial of dates on the internet. However, May says that Jero only has to be himself, because the important in a date is the two to have fun. Jero does not think that manages, but it is for that they are practicing, of course. He thinks all this more difficult than his time of apprentice of assassin. Jero finds something sublime, a legendary little doe released 40 years ago, the Maze Mazzaro, with estimated price in 30 million yen. Expensive as hell, but he thinks that is cheap and would pay up to 5 times more. How can all this for a little doe? But the question is not the value in itself, It is something that represents for Jero the advance of humanity. For a guy from the underworld, he has some very childish and funny tastes, which is not bad okay. May thinks cute him having fun and sees Jero looking at a pixel art painting with the head turned. Like this, it is possible to understand better. With this, Jero gained 30 points. He thanks the practical lesson, but wants to see soon how it is to be attractive. Then May shows an old man that seems a bit lost and out of his world. Then arrives a beautiful woman to help, and it is his wife. Besides that, this guy is the master Shiratori, the current most popular artist among the young. For that, he was all nervous. Even though the way and appearance of him are strained for the standard of the world, for the fans he is perfect, because he is considered a genius of art. If to think in other examples, there are athletes that turn the game in the last second, doctors that save the life of dear relatives, and musicians that soften the boredom of the day today. People are attracted by something that moves them, talent. It is practically the same as to fall in love for someone close to you by the appearance or personality. It is a true feeling also. Jero does not think that has this, but May says the contrary. When he saved her from the mercenaries that kidnapped her, he showed his charm that so the best way for Jero to find someone is not at parties or apps, but rather rescuing people, saving hostages and things of the kind. Like this, they will fall in love with Jero. Jero handles that. However, for him as poisoner, this is impossible. But for Jero, it is easy to rescue innocent people, so it will not be a problem. Jero sees Shiratori and his woman slipping out of the crowd like a beautiful and in-love couple. Then May also wants an autograph from him. Jero does not believe that she went there for this. After a painting of the girl that shines as much as the sun is stolen at night, the crew thinks that this is work of Imkawa. This gang from the underworld will not let it cheap, because the captain of the ship did illegal things to say the minimum to get this and several other paintings. They cannot let her escape in any way. But it is already late, because Imkawa is mounted on a shark and going away underwater with it and the painting. The captain is informed of the theft of the painting and says that it is something of little value. Imkawa thanks her pet shark and says that next time they go out for something that is not work. Her little group waits for her, but they are caught by a typhoon of water. A crazy diver that controls the water appeared. May and Jero, meanwhile, start the plan Operation Charming Prince for Jero to rescue someone from danger. But he is not very happy with this. Because of Prince, he has nothing. So for him, it will be Apprentice of Prince. May is finishing with the meat buffet and does not get fat. It is crazy. Jero thinks more important to know how he will find someone to save. Said that May only eats and does not say anything. Then he shows the clandestine site that offers jobs of hired killer, smuggler, and etc. It is a site to find work in the underworld. If to search in the clandestine, we'll find several jobs of rescue or bodyguard. Jero never heard about because in his family they have a contact. Traditional families are difficult to adapt to new technologies, even more his of Jero. May continues devouring the meat as if there were no tomorrow. Jero only finds smuggling jobs, so has to open an account to have more options. Jero shows a job to May. The illegal museum ship demands the return of all the works of art and will inform the location of the exchange of Imkawa for the works later. Their group presents this rescue job and says that Imkawa Hyoko is considered one of the great thieves of the underworld. But in truth, she acts returning works acquired by corrupt collectors to their true owners. They cannot just give up the works of art so easily, for that they want that the interested must infiltrate in their hideout and rescue Imkawa. The sad is that only has two interested in the job because the client does not have much money to offer. Even more with them having part-time jobs, then it does not work really. One thinks that they will have to sell the organs to give a high reward. But the friends ask for Kitami to calm down soon. May sees that nobody would want a job with cost-benefit so low like this. But it is good that Jero will not have competition, and it is a good opportunity for him. The guys are desperate, and May introduces the member of the Jero family, Hikaru Jero. He will rescue Imkawa Hyoko, their boss. But the little group does not have money to pay a professional from the Jero family. If they have to pay the official price that he is worth, they will have to sell their organs whole. But if they have someone like Hikaru on their side, the chance of saving Imkawa are certain. Jero still has not said what really matters, and with his bad face, the crazies get very afraid of him. So Jero asks if Imkawa likes men with glasses. On the ship, the captain says that he never found someone as beautiful as Mkawa and offers to her a spot in high society and to stop being a miserable thief and to be part of his personal collection. Someone please send this weirdo to F. The guy says this while licking a painting. It is messing around. Mkawa would never go together with this crazy and says that believes in what she does. These works of art, taken by force from their owners, is what she has to recover. The painting in question was made by the master of the Kurojiru style, e.g. Satania. The stolen work of art was painted by him and portrayed his daughter, the girl that shines as much as the sun. The market value of it is estimated at $2 billion. Her husband consulted an old art distributor known of E.G., and they indicated Mkawa for the job. He begs the thief to recover the only painting that remained of his wife. The husband and the daughter loved her too much. Mkawa promised this to the little girl. That would bring her mother back to her. The captain does not care at all and tells Ushio the diver to deal with her. Jero and Mei invade the museum ship, and regardless of everything, Jero will take his mission seriously. Mei shows the GPS that received from the client and Mkawa must be nearby. But then some macabre weirdos appear and almost take Mei to F, but Jero appears and defeats them easy, then asks to which direction they have to go. But Mei says that should not have gone together. However, Jero says that needs him because will not know what to say to Mkawa when he finds her. Meanwhile, she is being drowned with the power of Ushio. But the captain tells to stop, so he goes to exterminate the invaders. Mkawa provokes, saying if that was all, and the weirdo will try other things on her. Jero is practicing asking Mkawa in dating and then in marriage, but everything is wrong, and Mei says that this will ruin everything. The henchmen appear with all types of weapons to stop them, but while the two talk about how Jero will approach Mkawa, the poisoner beats the randoms very calmly. He has to understand how the other person feels before coming with talk of dating and marriage. He is a professional that came to rescue her. Mkawa is there against her will and alone, running danger. So Jero has to comfort her in this moment, and the randoms are all fallen on the ground. Mkawa does not have fear of a pistol. If this is the best, the guys are bad at the job. The captain then threatens to destroy the painting, then it got heavy. The thief says that he is a collector. So why this? He says that does not care. He wants Mkawa as part of his collection. Mkawa understands and accepts this. But then out of nowhere the hand of the guy is cut off and he sees the painting gaining life and burning him. But this was Jero's poison making him hallucinate, thing of crazy. Jero then says to Mkawa his name and that is there to save her and that everything will be fine. She says it does not have enough money for someone of the level of Jero, a master. Now Jero does not know what to say and begs for help to Mei. He did not want to get involved in the date, but enters and goes to untie Mkawa. But Ushio enters and captures her. The hydromancer arrived and the captain orders to exterminate the rats. Jero applies his chemistry and is ready for combat. This diver will sleep for good. Jero attacks, but the creature turns into water and moves fast. Jero tells Mei to take care of Mkawa and throws her. Ushio creates a huge arm and destroys the floor of the ship. Jero is injured, but Ushio stops the attack and introduces herself. Ushio is in fact a hydromancer. She proposes to resolve this in another way because two masters fighting will generate material damages enormous, surpassing the fees of the contract. Therefore, she offers 10 times the agreed value. She says that who returns to their house at 6 after work and has dinner with their family will never grow their business. Mei finds one of Jero's injections and thinks of delivering to him, but he shouts to not touch because it is extremely toxic. Something passed through generations is the hereditary mutation. The one of Jero's family is the mutation of improving the bodily functions through lethal poisons. This is his technique to survive in the underworld. The hydromancer also has a hereditary mutation of controlling water, and her diving suit, developed by the company of her family, is impenetrable by needles or poisonous gases, and they are resistant to immense quantities of hydrostatic pressure. She wants to make the deal, but Jero is not willing. Let's go to the fight. She attacks and says that the mutation of the poisoners strengthens as the user approaches death. This indeed is a double-edged knife, and Jero has to be careful with her. Could it be that Jero does not accept the deal because the thief is paying well, or because she is the little girlfriend of Jero? Jero throws his needles and Ushio is exploded and takes an attack on the glass of the helmet. Then takes multiple attacks on the same point, and Jero says that does not even know Himikawa, but who knows she can become someone important to him. Ushio is surprised with the precision and strength of Jero. Jero says that may seem like a rational idiot to Ushio, but returning home every day at 6 and having dinner with the family is something that he would give everything to have. His childhood was very lonely, and this he does not consider stupid. That MY good. What a cool episode. Jero shows to be badass and still very silly socially, and not knowing how to deal with women is funny. Jero really is very awkward on dates, but it seems that love knocked on his door and the boy's childhood is also messed up. A girl wakes up late to go to school, then eats and gets ready quickly and tells her mother that she should have woken her earlier. That said, her mother says it is a holiday and everyone finds it funny, but the truth is that this and more families are a human zoo of the Jero family, and Hikaru and his siblings are being taught about typical families gathering at the table. There are several sections of interactions, such as friendship with the opposite gender. Hikaru was not only taught to send others to F, he also learned the reality of the people who were his targets. These people lived behind transparent walls without having the slightest idea. A zoo of humans for the Jero family. They are fragile and ignorant beings in the hands of fate. The role of the successor of the family of poisoners is to decide this fate. Jero really wants to have a normal family and do things like have dinner together with them every day after work. This is something he would give everything to have. Ushio says that if someone like that inherits the Jero family, it will make it be eaten alive by the rising families. So Ushio uses the ultimate of her family, Hydro Inferno, and begins to have the advantage in the fight, simulating with precision the behavior of liquids through her skin. She even attacks Mei and Himikawa. Then Mei protects her and takes damage. Ushio does not care about involving someone innocent, because she can simply compensate for the damages later by paying. Himikawa asks why do all this for her, and Mei says that it is their job. The fight continues and Jero only manages to dodge the bursts of water. Mei asks Himikawa to run away, because her safety is what matters most at the moment. Mei and Jero will be delayed a bit, but the painting thief will not run away and instead help in whatever is possible. Jero no longer has options of needles and poisons over the course of this fight. He is completely screwed and is not fast enough to approach the Hydromancer. Hikaru learned that he should never fight against other masters, unless the reward is greater than 5 billion and that he is sure of victory. He must never risk revealing the ultimate, the incremental hereditary mutation of the Jero family. If their technique is discovered, Hikaru will have to finish the target in the name of the history and future of the poisoners. Hikaru is not in the mood for that, and then Himikawa arrives jumping on top of him. She did this to guarantee that she would deliver to Jero her special syringe. Himikawa is not the type of princess who waits to be rescued. Even if it hurts, she will act and wants to save Jero. But then she is caught by the Hydromancer, who says that Himikawa was very stupid to return there just to be caught again. But Ushio did not count that the goat Jero was going to use his great power coming from his syringe. The guy becomes so fast that it is not even possible to see when he pierces Ushio a little with a needle and makes her lose control of her water and drown. Jero saves Himikawa, and Ushio is defeated in an explosion of water. For being very skillful, Jero will keep her contact card and maybe call her for a job later. But now he is holding Himikawa and does not know how to do this properly. Good thing he is touching her with the back of his hand, otherwise he would have a fit. Hikaru really wants Mei's help, that one saw it. Ushio starts to hallucinate because of Jero's chemistry, but he wakes her and says that her skin has those stains because of an allergy to fresh air. Then he prescribed a medicine to soften the occurrence of the symptoms and asks Ushio to use it for a while. She does not understand this feeling of pity, but Jero says that this is his way of defeating her completely. It is not only her defeat in the fight, but rather being known for this failure forever, but also remembering that her enemy humiliated her by saving her. Himikawa recovers the painting of the girl who shines like the sun. And Jero gives a scare to the captain of the ship to not do more nonsense, and hopefully he stops being a weirdo. Ushio says that just telling someone to stop doing something will not change anything. Hikaru is too soft. A real professional would have sent him to F. Jero says that if Ushio gets in the way again, he will apply a poison 1,000 times more painful on her. Jero is only fulfilling his duty, and not killing as they asked him to. Himkawa will not make the same mistake twice of being captured. So everyone leaves there on a shark in the most radical style possible. The little tooth went swimming at 1,000 per hour. Himkawa takes the painting of the girl's mother back to her and to her father. The group is moved by Himkawa's nobility and the touching family moment. Jero is alone in a corner not wanting the spotlights, and the husband of the woman in the painting says that his wife died in a car accident right after Ajiha was born. He could even have a good life and live in a house if he sold the painting, but they prefer to continue living with a memory of her by their side. Himkawa calls Jero to a call because Ajiha wants to talk a little with him. He says that it is not necessary. However, May says that it is good for him to feel someone's gratitude, and all this modesty is lack of education. Ajiha is very grateful to Jero for what he did, and Himkawa says that she had a terrible image of professionals before, but he is different from what she imagined. Even May says her words and thanks Jero for having given money for her brother's treatment. Okudo is now recovering well and always sends lively and fun photos to May. He really is grateful for Jero having risked his life and fought for them. The girl Himkawa and Okudo all are smiling because of Jero. Hikaru does not know how to receive compliments and wants to clear his head a bit. Then the guys who hired him want to talk about the reward. Himkawa says that what Jero did has no way she can pay even in 1,000 years. So in return, she will do whatever for him. With that, Jero goes crazy, so the two go on a date, but it seems that Kinesaki is late too. Himkawa's payment was that she would go out with the two when she returned. May is already there hidden and sends a message saying that she arranged a date and will leave everything in Jero's hands. It is his chance to do well. The two are at a shark party singing Baby Shark. Now May's romance operation begins, as the Prince Charming operation was a success and they managed to save Himkawa. Now it is time to put Jero on a date alone with Himkawa and make the feelings come to the surface. May thought she was going to hide in there, but Jero noticed her quickly. Jero has to remember Kinesaki's rules. If the subject ends and there is nothing to say, compliment something on her. Show that he has interest. May knows that there is a lot to compliment on Himkawa. Her pretty earrings, flashy necklace, cute nails, and the charming coat. But the guy goes there and says that the necklace is very worn out and if someone gave it to her. Himkawa says that she got it as a freebie with a dehumidifier that she bought at the thrift shop. May notes that it is time for Jero to continue the conversation, now that he has something to work with. The subject is there, just follow the flow. He asks if she cut her bangs, and she says no. It seems that Jero's date is destined to failure. He urgently needs help. Himkawa asks for his food and says that she loves this food. May goes into emergency mode and will help her big friend. Himkawa asks why Jero did not eat anything, and he says that he does not eat what others give to him because he was trained to improve his poisoner skills and needs to take caution to not eat something poison. All that always mattered to Hikaru was to not have poison in the meal, so that was what he did alone in the time between the trainings. Himkawa understands this loneliness of Jero because she was an orphan and did not have anyone close to her, until one day, an elderly man about to die adopted her, just to leave a legacy in the world before departing. After that, she became a Himkawa and inherited an immense fortune. She could have lived an entire life of luxury. But one day she saw many paintings crying and discovered that they were stolen paintings, and she knew how much it hurt to be alone. Because of that, she decided to return everything to their true owners, so they would not remain lonely. When she finally finished, she had spent all the inheritance with the expenses. Then she got 5 part-time jobs. She thinks that Jero must find this nonsense, but actually Hikaru finds this incredible. He never felt someone's gratitude before this day. This was thanks to Himkawa, and she has been helping others for a long time. Himkawa cries and says that no one has ever praised her in that way. Then the time comes for Jero to give the final move and ask her in dating. But Jero says for them to be friends, because they do not know anything about each other, and she only knew his good side that saved her. She got scared thinking that he was going to confess. But Jero says that this is the intention, but before that there are steps that he must follow. Although she had a good impression of him, Jero has a dirty side that he shows to nobody. So he wants to do several things with her, and little by little she will know everything about him. And if she likes Jero, then he will make his proposal. Himkawa is surprised with this and says it is all right, but her heart will not be easy to be conquered. She thought that he and Kinesaki had something, But Jero says that he is his love counselor. Now Jero has the contact of two friends, and Himekawa leaves asking Jero to make a lunchbox for them, since Hikaru does not eat other people's food, and that she likes dashimuk. After a happy date, Mei appears and tells Jero that there is a new job as a bodyguard. It is the only daughter of a great businessman. Jero does not think that having two at the same time is ethical, but Mei says that it is not that. He just met Himekawa, and they are only friends for now. Jero has to meet several people in the world, and it may be that Himekawa is indeed the right person for Jero, but he needs experience, and it is good to meet so many people for that. It may be that the right person is someone else. What Mei wants is for Jero to have the best marriage with the best person. My good, what a cool episode of Marriage Toxin. I am liking the characters a lot, and say there if you're also liking it, leaving your like and sharing the video with the otaku friend. Activate the little bell and see the description for more recaps. Thanks for the support, as always, and bye.